This is not legal advice to anybody who's watching this. It's just two lawyers having a conversation. I want to talk about paternity fraud because that's a big problem in a lot of places. I don't know what it's like in Florida, but in PA and most jurisdictions I'm familiar with, once you sign that birth certificate and acknowledge paternity, that's your child. Even if later on the mother of the child says, you know what, it's not your child, it's Chad's child or Tyrone's child or whoever's child, not yours, you're still on the hook to support that child till they emancipate. Is that the way it is in Florida too?
Florida did something interesting. And I think they did the right thing. They just made it really hard. They came up with the disestablishment statute. And a lot of people didn't know about it. And a lot of people don't know how to use it. But there is a mechanism in place to disestablish paternity. It's complicated. And I mean, I've done it before, but it's jumping through a lot of different hoops. And you gotta cross your T's and dot your I's, and you gotta make sure you're doing everything. But you can disestablish. The one that really blows people's minds, men and women, and I'll tell them, they'll be separated for a while, right? And they're like, we're just separated, whatever, no big deal. We're not, we're living our own lives. If your wife gets pregnant, that's your child. And like, no. That's like you said, Chad or somebody. Yeah, that's somebody. That's somebody else. That's not my kid, right? I'm like, no, well, that's you're the legal father. If you're married, you're the husband. You are the legal father, even if, and that that blows people's minds. And then we have to go through disestablishment in the divorce proceeding to disestablish later born children during the separation period. And that is, sometimes people just can't wrap their head around it, that could be their child. And they're like, we've been separated for years. She's got a, fiance, it's like, yeah, it's cool. That's your child. So right. We're going to have to deal with that. You're the legal father. You were married. And
presumption of parenthood. Yeah, they presume that's if you're married, they presume that's your kid unless it's proven otherwise. I tell anybody that asks, anybody that comes into my office on that, if there's 0.0001% chance it's not your child, get a paternity test. A lot of courts do them for free or for nominal fee, and they're not taking blood. They just swab the inside of your cheek and the inside of the child's cheek, the baby's cheek, and they can tell with a 99.999% certainty whether or not that is your offspring. So you don't want to find out years later or a year later or 6 months later it's not your child, especially if you're divorcing, because once they establish that paternity, that's it. That's it. And that's a terrible, terrible thing.